make of the Conor Benn business that's been going on then? What's your take on that?
My take on that is very simple. If you think you have to take any kind of performance enhancing whatever to increase or be a better fighter or whatever it is he seems to think he may or may not have done, then I believe that he's been caught not once but twice, then take his license away. Because you have to send the right message out to the rest of the people that are out there.
I don't know what's going on with him and his personal life. You know, that's on him. You know, I'm minding the business that pays me.
Conor Benn's career took a massive hit after he was arrested following his third failed drug test. The timing couldn't have been worse, just ahead of a potential rematch with Chris Eubank Jr. The police involvement sent shockwaves through the boxing community. Rather than building excitement for the bout, Benn now finds himself engulfed in scandal, while Eubank Jr.'s reputation continues to soar.
Test, you don't get 50-50 split.
No. No matter commercial power pulling, no.
You don't get 50-50 split if you fail a drug test.
Luke McKenzie didn't hesitate to call out Benn's justifications. He was spot on. By surrendering his license, Conor Benn essentially confessed to wrongdoing. A single failure might be accidental. A second raises doubts. But 3 failures are likely to end his career. This controversy comes just before a possible rematch with Chris Eubank Jr., severely damaging Benn's reputation. Meanwhile, Eubank appears fresher, more powerful, and poised to dominate the spotlight.
Now, the fact that he's given back his license to the British Boxing Board of Control, who in my opinion are the best governing body in the world, bar none, it's kind of like a proof of admission, certainly. And for him to do what he's done, you know, they're talking about contamination, right? So if you've done it once, then you got caught out, then you do it again. It can't be contamination, can it? Because you've been caught twice for doing the same thing. So if it was me...
Johnny Nelson was visibly stunned and demanded a swift investigation into Conor Benn's crisis. The story spread rapidly throughout the boxing world. As Benn becomes further engulfed in controversy, Chris Eubank Jr. remains unaffected, rising in popularity and appeal. The difference couldn't be clearer. One is making excuses, while the other is gearing up for glory.
There needs to be an inquiry straight after this. Why, what? But that's what I'm hearing.
Chris Eubank Jr. has made it clear that his greatness doesn't depend on Conor Benn. The opportunity is there, but if Benn continues to be consumed by controversy, Eubank will move forward unscathed. Fans notice the contrast, Benn behind bars while Eubank remains in command. One career is falling apart, the other is rising steadily.
It's not a message. The offer's been sent, and you know, you either take it or leave it. And if you leave it, then I'm going to be great either way.
Is it done forever if this is a no this time?
I'm not going to say that. You know, the fight's never done forever. As long as we're still breathing, and the fight is going to be of interest.
Eddie Hearn intervened, urging everyone to be patient with Benn. But to many, Hearn comes off as a desperate figure holding on to a failing cause. Claiming Benn's innocence after 3 positive drug tests strikes most fans as unbelievable. The boxing world isn't convinced. Benn's damaged reputation remains unguarded. On the other hand, Chris Eubank Jr. requires no justifications or pity. His dedication outshines any promotional rhetoric.
And when you see the facts, I believe that Conor Benn is innocent. Maybe it's because he's my mate, and maybe it's because you back your mates. Maybe it's because I've seen more than you've seen, both in his eyes and on the paper. But all I'm saying is, give him an opportunity, right, for things to be heard. And in this situation, someone said the other day that sometimes when you fail a drugs test, it's not innocent till proven guilty, it's guilty till proven innocent. I'll be honest with you, it doesn't really make sense. But his case has to be heard. And
everyone deserves the chance to present their side of the story. Duke McKenzie struck a sensitive chord, describing Conor Benn's disgrace as a harsh blow to his father's legendary legacy. Nigel Benn earned his respect through hard work and determination. Now, his son's repeated doping violations are dragging that legacy through the dirt. Fans recognize the shame involved. This isn't just about Conor. It's about a once-feared name in British boxing being deeply tarnished. Meanwhile, Chris Eubank Jr. is likely feeling confident. Not only has he maintained a clean record, but he also holds the moral upper hand in their ongoing rivalry. While Benn leans on excuses and promoter support, Eubank's standing continues to rise. This scandal has done more than cancel a fight. it has hurt a family's honor.
It's just wrong in my book. You know what? I also think that, you know, what he's done, it's like a slap in the face.
Simon Jordan and Spencer Oliver share the sentiments of much of the boxing community. Conor Benn shouldn't be given any more chances. A single failure might be overlooked. A second raises doubts, but a third is essentially career-ending. Gone. Ski puts it clearly, this is about more than just punishment. It's about safeguarding the sport's integrity. If fighters think they can cheat and receive only minor consequences, boxing's credibility is at risk. Chris Eubank Jr. doesn't rely on shortcuts. His success comes from hard work and perseverance. That's why fans are firmly behind him, while Benn has become a representation of the problems plaguing modern boxing. As for a rematch, at this point, it seems like Eubank versus Benn is just wishful thinking, because Benn's career is effectively over.
I've always been strong on that. I've always been strong on the fact that I don't believe in giving them a second chance.
You're basically saying, no 3 strikes and you're out.
No 3
strikes and you're out.
No.
1, you fail a test and gone ski.
Absolutely, because I just believe then that moving forward, people would think twice about doing it. If they think, well, you know.
Frank Warren doesn't mince words. The fight between Eubank and Benn is off the table. The legal troubles, failed drug tests, and ongoing drama surrounding Benn have made it too complicated. What had the potential to become one of Britain's greatest rivalries has instead been tarnished by scandal. Fans were hoping for a classic showdown, but instead, they've been met with news of arrests and legal battles. Chris Eubank Jr. doesn't need this chaos to prove his worth. He can face clean fighters and still put on unforgettable shows. Meanwhile, Benn has become boxing's troublemaker. It's clear now this isn't a rivalry anymore. It's a tragedy.
But the fight could never go forward. And some of the stuff that's come out since about people being, the board being sued and something, and so forth, is just a non-runner.
Mackenzie didn't hold back either, revealing just how overrated Conor Benn really is. He dismantled the hype around Benn, pointing out that despite not being a heavy hitter, even for welterweight, Benn was boldly claiming he could knock out Chris Eubank Jr., a fighter known for his toughness against some of the division's best. That's more fantasy than confidence. In their bout, Benn's true level showed. Head down, wild swings, lacking accuracy and respect for his opponent. Contrast that with Eubank Jr.'s sharper defense, controlled movement, and composure under pressure. Mackenzie's assessment was spot on. Benn embarrassed himself trying to act tough. The reality is, he's no Nigel Benn. Not even close. Nigel built his reputation through respect, toughness, and honest battles in the ring. Conor, however, has thrown away his career with scandals and arrogance. Eubank isn't just ahead. He's now the one bearing the legacy by revealing just how hollow Benn really is.
Conor Benn's not a massive puncher, not even at welterweight. So really, he's kind of mugged himself off a little bit by saying, I'm going to knock this guy out. He didn't give Eubank enough respect. Like I say, he was throwing shots at several points in that fight and he wasn't even looking where they were going. It was just like head down and swinging.
Stephen A. Smith perfectly captures the situation. Boxing deserves transparency, not deception. When fighters enter the ring, fans expect competitors on equal footing, both relying on skill, preparation, and discipline rather than shortcuts. That's why Conor Benn's scandal hits so hard. With multiple failed drug tests, we never truly got to witness his genuine talent. Was his power real? Were his standout performances authentic? Fans feel let down, just as Stephen A. points out. In contrast, Chris Eubank Jr. has never failed a drug test, never offered excuses, and has built his career through determination and toughness. This is why his fanbase respects him more than ever. While Benn's reputation lies in ruins, Eubank stands as the fighter boxing fans can trust to restore the sport's glory. The truth is, if Benn ever returns to the ring, suspicion will always follow him. Eubank, however, remains clean, proven, and ready to shine.
Powerful individual who can get exposed by a boxer because every shot he throws, he's trying to make it a power shot.
Adam Booth paints the picture of what really went down. Eubank Jr.'s legs may have looked heavy, but his boxing IQ carried him through while Benn relied on grit and desperation. Sure, Booth admits Benn showed heart, but that doesn't erase the drug cloud hovering over his career. The question fans keep asking is, how much of Benn's power, speed, and resilience was down to natural ability, and how much was helped? That's why people aren't convinced when analysts talk about him being better the second time, better how clean this time, or better because of another shortcut. Meanwhile, Chris Eubank Jr. doesn't need excuses. He adapts, fights through adversity, and proves he belongs on the big stage. If there ever was a second fight, Ben wouldn't be entering as the proud son of a legend. He'd be stepping in as the disgraced fighter with everything to prove. While Eubank would carry the aura of respect.
Because his legs weren't working.
Yeah.
He was throwing a lot of shots, but nothing had any real power or snap because he didn't have it in him. And so he couldn't force his size.
Tony Bellew speaks frankly. The rematch between Eubank and Ben shouldn't even be considered. And he's absolutely right. How can anyone support a fight when Ben's fitness, endurance, and mental strength are all in doubt? Not to mention his history of failed drug tests. Boxing is more than just landing punches. It's about honor, stamina, and earning respect through clean competition. Chris Eubank Jr. has proven all of this. He's battled through 12 grueling rounds, displayed toughness, and fought with true pride. Ben, meanwhile, remains an enigma overshadowed by scandal. Will his body hold up? Can he handle the mental strain? Or will he fall apart once the pressure mounts? Bellew highlights what fans already suspect. Even if Ben can step into the ring physically, he isn't prepared mentally or morally for this rematch. The fight is effectively over before it begins, as the gap in credibility between these two fighters has grown into a chasm.
Not happened.
We don't know what stamina and what engine he's got in him, really.
It's not about the stamina and the engine, it's more about the thought process and gaining that experience of being there and doing it. Okay. It's like when you go into your first 12-rounder. No matter how fit you are.
Conor Benn's downfall has turned everything upside down. Once hailed as the fiery heir to his father's legacy, he's now a fighter fans find hard to trust. Someone overshadowed by suspicion in every fight. Meanwhile, Chris Eubank Jr. steps into the spotlight with a cleaner record than ever before. His discipline and toughness making him the crowd's favorite. If Eubank wins a rematch, he won't just defeat Ben. He'll put the scandal to rest and claim dominance in their shared legacy. But if Ben pulls off an upset, it won't silence the skeptics. It will only raise more doubts. Was the victory clean? Was it genuine? Was it truly earned? This rivalry has grown beyond just punches. It's about who boxing believes in. So, what do you think? Are you rooting for Chris Eubank Jr. to close this chapter for good? Or do you believe Conor Benn can bounce back and prove the critics wrong?